guys. So it is Thursday, 8:30, already far 8:30. Just came from work, grabbing myself a bite to eat before I continue to film some other videos. The thing that I wanted to share with you in this particular video for YouTube is that I will start, which I actually had to do at the beginning of this year. I am going to share the process and start my process of having a art calendar. So what does that mean? My art calendar is a calendar in which I will put down things that I would like to paint for this coming year. So I do have a number of paintings in my mind that I would like to create for this year, like a quota, because I have to, elaborate, expand the portfolio, and also expand the number of paintings that I'm creating within my art practice. So what has helped me a lot, and I saw that with this current project that I have, I Am Still King, is that when I have an idea, I work it out, not completely like a whole Bible verse or something like that. No, I just work it out in a couple of sentences and I describe what it is that I want to paint. And then in the calendar, I determine when and how I want to start the process. Now, that's not, of course, a guarantee because a lot of things can happen in between. And unfortunately, the last couple of months, a lot of things have happened in between, which, the calendar was flexible. It's a flexible calendar. However, consistency is key, right? Consistency is key. We cannot escape that. I cannot escape that. If I want to have the results that I would like to have, consistency is key. So in my Patreon, I'm just going to vlog about that particular process. Won't be sharing it here on the YouTube channel, but this is of course a great moment for you to go and head over to you guessed it, my Patreon. The Patreon is a membership page, and when you join as a subscriber, you become a patron. So that means you get to support me, you get to see behind the scene footage, content, and all other things. One of the things that I already have on my Patreon is the podcast, and that means the full outline of the podcast. Filmed, recorded, so you get to hear and see me speak in the podcast. Also the extra bonus material that I do not post publicly on my podcast platform. You get to see and hear that in my Patreon. So that is extra content that you do not get to see anywhere else. That is just exclusive for people that are in there. The Patreon has tiers. Tiers is like a level, right? If you are a first-time subscriber and there are, some benefits to each tier and the benefits speak to you, you become a patron in that particular tier. If you want to have more benefits, more exclusive benefits, then you get into a higher tier. So that's basically how it works. Here and there, I will post some content that is public for everyone to see, but it is a membership page. A paid membership page. Okay? Now here are the things. There are great benefits to it. I would say go to my page and see what the benefits are and see what speaks to you. I can guarantee you will find something that will be good for you. It are just the things that create that little community within the MCJ Studio fam and platform. It's for the people that really want to see it a little bit more than just what is being shown here on YouTube. And it's that extra content that makes it just so great, special, educational, entertaining, straightforward, and right in your face. Okay, so that was just a little bit in between. See it as an infomercial, a small infomercial. I'm gonna finish my meal and then I'm gonna record other videos. So see y'all soon. I love watching this series, Put a Ring on It. And what I find so educational, but also very entertaining, is how three couples are being put in a situation where one of them is asking the other, or actually giving the other, an ultimatum. So basically, you are going to marry me or we are going to go our separate ways. That's basically what it comes down to. Put a ring on it. Oh, we got to go. I can't stay here. I can't stay here. So I think it's a very interesting, entertaining, but sometimes also very confrontational situation where people are getting themselves into. And the whole purpose of it is not that you put yourself in a situation where you are being tempted, which can happen, of course. You can get tempted, but it's not about you being tempted or you putting your relationship at risk. What you're doing is that you are allowing two people who are together in a relationship to grow through any issues, struggles, and problems that they might have in the relationship. And that is very confrontational. It's easy to point the finger at the other person and say, you are the blame for this and this and that. But what happens in a lot of these situations, if not all, what happens a lot in a lot of these situations is that people are confronted with themselves. And what they then understand, or hopefully learn to understand, is that you cannot control somebody else. You can't control somebody else through your actions, your words, or your energy. You ain't got that power. You just don't. It comes down to giving somebody the trust and allowing somebody else to show up as they are, instead of changing that person so that they fit the mindset or the narrative that they have of that person, the filter that they have of that person. So it is a very interesting show. People get to learn a lot about themselves, and some are just hard-headed. They are not learning, but this season is bringing it. I normally do watch a lot of American shows because they just are a little bit more packed with drama. And even though I don't consider myself to be a drama queen, I wouldn't say they are packed with only drama. They're packed with just a little bit more intensity than what I would find in Dutch series. In the past, I watched a number of Dutch series, but my preference goes to American series because they just, they pack a punch. So I love this particular show, and this season is heated. The people are not having it, and I'm also not having it. Because there are some people in there, I'm like, what? But here's the interesting thing, though. In general, just in day-to-day life, right? Let me put my hood for this message, this massage. Let me put this hood right for this. In general, in day-to-day life, it pertains to any type of relationship that we might have, whether it's that we might have with our peers, you as a creative hoping that you want to break through, artistically. We hope that we can have an impact on people with what we do, say, or put out with energy. But what you get to realize is that you only get to control yourself. You only get to control who you are. And you just have to trust the fact that people will either respond to what it is that you're saying in a positive and affirmative way, or either they're just not effing with you. And it's just that. It's exactly just that. What is up, you guys? So it is today, Saturday. I am going outside really quick because I saw some plants that I really want to have in my household. Oh, wait a minute. When you see all of those things just from afar, Ciao. Anyway, I saw some banana plants that I would love to have in my little palace here. So I'm just going to take you along on the road. And during the whole day, you get to see what happens. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of talking. Surprise, surprise. Let's go. Okay, so I'm looking at the plant pots here. It's flying tiger. And I'm not quite sure if these will be good for these plants. Let me see if there's others. Oh, these are cute, but these are too small. Hmm. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go for these ones because it just, it's just a piece of plastic, That's not what I want. Extremely cute stuff. Well, we need to go because I need to go to the gym. So let's say bye-bye.
So we are back from the store, and the store where I bought it is actually it's just a grocery department, so they are not really specialized in having plants. They had a great deal of monsteras, banana leaves, banana plants. So I thought, let me buy the monstera. I actually wanted to buy the banana plants, but they looked so dry and affected and broken leaves here and there. And I think I was standing in the store for about 10 minutes or even longer, checking each and every plant that was over there. And that is a tip for those who are interested in buying plants. I come from a family that has green fingers. My grandmother is someone who loves to have plants in her home, in her garden. So I actually grew up in that particular environment. And, just check your plants. If there's any, infected leaves or dryness, broken leaves, fungi. If it doesn't look good, leave it alone. Just leave it over there because you're going to take it home into your place and it's just going to spread. And you're basically fighting for your plant not to die. So I was looking for growth, I was looking for healthy, beautiful, colorful leaves. And these two were the ones that spoke to me. The rest was just pretty much dry. They were really dry. I was not about to buy them. That's just a waste of time, even if it's a good deal. So I took them home with me quickly before I went to the gym. I also was in Flying Tiger, and Flying Tiger is a Swedish company that has settled here in the Netherlands as well. I think it's a really cute store. They got some, nice things. I would compare it like a convenience store. So you can buy anything that you want for your kitchen, for your living space, whatever. You can find it there in Flying Tiger. However, the quality sometimes is very questionable, as you could see. I did like the look of the baskets, but the execution just looked like something my niece, 5 years old, could make. So yeah, you know what? Let's leave it alone. I want something a little bit more sophisticated when it comes to having pots for my plants. So that was not definitely not an option. But they had some really cute things. But yeah, I think I have to just look somewhere else for my plants. I'm so excited to have plants in my house. I think it's a great addition to have something that you can take care of. Um, yeah, and it also just brings peace in a home. I don't know about you all, but it's something about having, just leafy greens in your home that you can take care of, and they give just a special umph in a home. So here they are. Now off to the gym.